Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and the Mean Streets of Gadgetzan is out now, so it's time for the deck rebuilds. And so that means we're going to start with Druid. Now, if everything's working on the right, you should be able to see my Hearthstone deck tracker application showing my standard Druid deck right now. It's mostly just beasts. In fact, I think it's probably designed more than anything to be beasts. So here, somewhere, well, we can find it. I would, unless I've deleted it. I may have actually deleted it. Nope. Here it is again, if just in case we can't see it. Beasts, 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 beasts. Now, because of the new quests that are worth usually 60 gold or more, I went through all the character classes, and there's certain things we're looking for. Like, we're looking for battle cry characters, we're looking for taunt characters, we're looking for beasts, we're looking for death rattle characters, and several others. And we can see a lot of battle cries here, so maybe I could get the 30 battle cry characters that I would need. So that would mean I'd have to play with a deck and have all battle cries, or maybe double that. But I also want to play some strategies, so let's start by just getting rid of the standard Druid deck and start from scratch. Here we go. Druid, and I'm going to make it a standard deck to begin with. And let's see, as far as the pre-thought ideas, there are now, I have 28 of 30 on this one, 26 of 30 on this one, and 29 of 30 on this one. And this is a new recipe because this is all full of the new expansion cards. So if I just wanted to play the new expansion and not build a deck, I probably would do that. That would be an easy solution. So I guess we should start with the Gadgetzan cards and just see. We have things like, if your friendly minion has 5 or more attack, gain +2/+2. Give your minions +1/+1. Choose one. We could do choose one deck. Summon a Jade Golem. Draw 2 minions. Give a friendly beast +1/+1. Choose one. Gain 10 armor or refresh your mana crystals. So I kind of think I need to choose one cards. And then I could almost just put everything here and just start with this. And then I've got 17 other cards to still play. So standard cards now. All standard cards. So one of the cards I am lucky enough to have that's not of the new expansion cards is the legendary that says you choose ones, do both of them instead. Where is that guy? Is he a wild card? Interesting. I think he's a wild card. Let's see. Yes, he is. Oh. Well, with Findrel Staghelm as a wild card only, doing a choose one deck actually makes no sense. Because that's the only thing that kind of makes that whole thing synergize. So I'll keep these choose ones in here. I'm just like in a weird position. Like, notice you can can have them in a standard game. Interesting. I was just not finding it. Alright, good. That was very confusing because I didn't think he was one of those characters. So I could do battle cries, or I can do choose ones, and if I'm were to just do choose ones, we can start filling up things like this, and that, and that, and I have 3 more cards to be in here. That one, and then finally these 2, and there's still more to go. So do I want Starfall? Probably not. Do I want this guy? Possibly, but possibly not. Let's see, we're gonna have to make some decisions now about what we want to get rid of. Deal 2 damage or summon 2 1/1 saplings. Give your minions +1/+1. I think the Mark of the Lotus could go away, certainly. Choose 1 transform and gain charge, or get +1/+1. I could probably get rid of that for a bigger card. And so that's all the choose 1 decks. The only final thing I would want to even consider is Astral Communion. Gain 10 mana crystals to discard your hand. It's an interesting card, certainly. So, draw 2 cards. And minions drawn cost 1 less. So, I guess that's what I want to get rid of. One of those for that. And as a rough estimate, as a rough start, that's probably what I would build for just a standard deck. And compared to my current standard deck, I've played 36 games and won only 6 of them, so I'm running 17% win ratio on that deck. Let's go back and try it now. We'll just play a casual game in standard play with this custom Druid here. So Hearthstone Deck Tracker fortunately has now determined and figured out how to be completely automatic, so you will be able to see it. It has already determined all the cards in the deck and will mark them as drawn and fade them out as I draw them.
Begin. I must protect the wild.
So, how much of this is a change from what you could have done before the new expansion? Very little, actually, is different.
Happy Feast of Wintervale.
How do you say that? Do you?
Happy Feast of Wintervale.
Is that greeting, I guess? I guess it's greeting. On top of the new expansion not really changing a standard deck. Let's see, choose 1, shuffle 3 copies of this card in your deck. Let's see what a Jade Golem is, because we've seen a lot of these. So a Jade Golem is a 1 mana, 1 attack, 1 health creature with no abilities. So that tells me probably all the cards that say summon a Jade Golem are not worth it at all. This one summons a 2/2 Jade Golem, and then it gives you an empty mana crystal. So that's something to be a little bit more happy with. But mostly it's
Job's done.
kind of pointless. Yeah. So the whole Jade Golem cards aren't very useful, which means this card and let's see, one of the other cards are totally not useful at all in the expansion. Let's see. Give a friendly beast +2/+2.
Bathe in flames.
For the wild.
So, but on top of that, I had for Druid a taunt deck, and that's all I thought they would even have to play. Choose ones are not battle cries, therefore they're not. You can't really make a battle cry deck very easily with the Druid, so I will simply get rid of this. I kind of have to instantly get rid of this deck just to have room, and then make a Druid wild with taunt creatures that probably isn't going to really involve or use
Bathe in flames.
the new cards at all.
For the wild.
And that's not particularly as much about the fact that I didn't get enough of the new cards as it is the new cards just didn't really change too much on the Druid. Now, maybe that's because in the metagame, maybe those professional Hearthstone players out there already play with the Druid a lot, and therefore they don't need any difference or any help here. Obviously, I need some help here because I'm losing miserably here. It's a feeling I am not unfamiliar with, definitely. But yeah, these choose one cards are too late in the game. This idea that you could potentially gain 10 armor or refresh your mana crystals is nice, but the only way you pull off any of these late game cards is to have a strategy to protect yourself, so you kind of have to build a taunt deck. I only played one battle cry in that entire thing, so we could probably find some custom thing here. Like, we'll get rid of custom hunter for the moment, and we'll make a new wild Druid deck.
If you make a wild deck, you can only use it in wild games.
Yep. And then the Lotus suggestion here is a lot of really cheap games, and then it is some of the choose one stuff, but it's also some taunt stuff. It's kind of a combination between like 3 or 4 different concepts, and maybe that's part of my problem in creating decks, is I just don't have enough varied solutions there. So taunt characters are who I'm gonna go for, but that doesn't mean spells that give things taunt. That's more just taunt things by default. I still kind of want that card in my deck. I suppose you could just fill all of your decks with a variety of battlecry, death rattles, and other characters, but then I think you would actually waste too much time, and it would require you to play so many different battles that probably wouldn't help anything. It's better to make something that's more structured and focused. And see, I almost still want to have this guy, because I think that refresh your mana crystals idea is potentially really interesting. So in One Night in Karazhan's expansion, there was a 4 mana creature that I still feel like is a game changer in Hearthstone, and I think you kind of have to have it as your card, as one of your cards. Let's see. And his name is Prince Malkazir. Or Malkazar. And if I can find him, I think he's a 4-mana legendary. Come on, where are you, guy? Well, let's start with just typing in taunt, and we can build from there at least. So a 1-2, or I think is better, and the 1-2 there I think is probably better, and what else do I want? Beasts. I suppose there's a reason now to try to play beasts too, but I'm trying to play the best strategy I can think of. Sadly, that's not very good. There's a definite instance here of I haven't learned enough about Hearthstone personally. So this one costs 2 less if your opponent has 3 minions, so it seems almost like highly unlikely you would ever be able to play him on the second turn with your opponent having 3 minions. But if you did, that'd be an interesting turn of events. So I'm still just trying to look here and find all of the taunt creatures. And I still feel like there's enough room to add some more. So get those 2 in there. And take this guy so that does something. Maybe take these 2. Let's see, what else would we want? Take those 2, we need 1 more card. Well, actually, we can just hold off on that until we can find Prince Malkazar and throw that guy in, because Prince Malkazar gives you 5 legendary cards at random at the start of the game. So it not only does it add 5 extra cards to your deck, which causes you to have an advantage in the fact that you won't run out of cards as fast, but it does several other it gives you legendary cards that you 1 may not own, or 2 may want more of. So where is he? Come on, where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. There's another guy from the One Night in Karazhan that will summon a 1/1 version of a card from your deck, but he doesn't actually work that well on his own. I should probably get Piloted Shredder in there too, since that's still a card that's probably worth having. Come on, Prince Malkazar, where are you? I could probably just type in Prince and find him. Yep, instead of looking here. That would make more sense and save us all some time. Here he is. He's a 5-mana creature. Alright. So I'll just get rid of this guy, throw in this guy, and that puts us all over the board. A very unsmooth mana curve cost there, but whatever. we'll hit that. And so this is mostly just for the quest of getting taunt characters played. That's really all this deck is about. It's so crazy now because of the way we only have 18 slots available. That means I really have to dedicate 9 slots
Malfurion versus Uther.
actually trying to win
I
rank
will
play,
fight with honor.
which is difficult enough
protect
on
the
its own. And then I have to set 9 slots specifically set to just get quests done in a smoother manner and faster. I wish Hearthstone would just let you have infinite number of slots and save as many decks as you want, and then I could make lots and lots of different ones and not have to delete old ones.
The legions I command.
Now, in comparison, I don't believe I only played like 3 wild games with Druid since I last rebuilt it in the One Night in Gadgetzan expansion. So I haven't been very good about playing Druid in wild anyways. So if this one can do better than a 0% win ratio out of 3 games, this new deck will probably be fine. See, I almost should have held on to the coin, waited one more turn, played this, and discarded my hand. But it only discards my hand, so if in the next turn I could play this, and then the turn after this I play this, I would only have 2 cards remaining. And then I have 10 mana crystals in 2 turns. So, how many taunt characters did you need to play for the quest? Let me read here. It was 20. And I've already played 3 on the 3rd turn. Let's see, charge.
For Gnomeregan! For the gnome!
I've got 4 characters on the field, all taunt creatures. I can play this next turn, and then I'm really powered up to play whatever I want to play, actually. This expansion was slightly surprising. It came out a little bit earlier, and it probably came out earlier than I even think, but I was expecting it at noon at my time.
For the wild.
Didn't really check it very often. So I guess now I need to know to check it earlier in the morning. Hearthstone has been very wild about when it unlocks certain expansions. There's been things that have unlocked at midnight, which that one was awful. There's been usually it was doing noon, and now sometimes it does morning. It seems like they just kind of randomize the times, which I don't know how many people are going to be on YouTube early in the morning or whenever.
For the wild. Job done.
Let's see. So I have 10 mana crystals, but now it's just a matter of playing every single card I get going forward. this deck feels a lot better than the standard deck I built. I don't know what you really do with the Druid. I think you have to do something with a lot of taunts to keep the game, to make it to a late in game, mid game, or in game strategy. I don't know if there was really too many new early game strategies.
Truth is my shield.
This one does 2 damage to everybody, so go here. And
For the wilds.
go ahead and attack while we can, I guess. His one taunt is giving me a little bit of trouble. I kind of wish I could make a wild deck for Druid that was just all the choose one cards and try to get it's just, that doesn't work. It really doesn't work.
That was a mistake.
Maybe if there were 2 or 3 cards that would make you choose one cards both work, or that's a Druid special, maybe then
Don't worry, loves. The
I could
cavalry's
think
here.
of something, but right now I can't.
For the wilds.
So down to 16. Now he does have an advantage of having 6 cards in his hand, and he's approaching 9 mana crystals, but I still think I'm gonna win here. But yeah, it does definitely
Put your
feel like
faith
I
in
should
the
have been able to find some strategy or something, but I simply didn't. I just did not see any strategy that was new or anything like that.
For
in
the
new
wild.
cards.
Job's done.
Particularly now that we know the Jade Golem is just a 1 mana, 1 health creature with no special abilities or meanings. It's not even like there's another card out there that says for every Jade statue or Jade Golem you have, you gain attack or health for that character. That's something I would have added if I was going to include Jade statues.
Follow the
that
rules.
much. It seems like they're just trying to thematically fit in with the different syndicates and criminal organizations aesthetically without putting anything logical behind it as far as the reason why those cards exist. So I was winning for a while there, but now it seems like the tables have turned. Was it something I did? Probably getting rid of my hand.
Special
Or
delivery!
maybe some of the cards I have are too low level. That might be a problem with my strategies as I go for this early game where I get really cheap cards, when maybe I should have more 5s, 6s, and 7s in the collection to use all of those instead. Well, while that deck didn't actually get me a victory, I think it satisfies my goal. I think that is a useful taunt deck. And so whenever I get this thing, I will just know that whenever I get the quest to play taunt characters, I now know this is the taunt deck. And so that one gets named Taunt, and the other one I will leave as Custom Druid, but I'm probably going to get rid of Custom Druid because I'm going to need room in the next recording when we do Hunter. Custom and the standard and the wild hunter decks. And we are working on this quest here to win 3 games with a hunter, paladin, or warrior, so hopefully I'll get a victory or 2 in the next recording too. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.